Okay, you're good.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning. Today is Friday, March the 6th, 2026, and I'd like to welcome you to the Southern Maryland delegation meeting. We're really excited to have several guests with us and to provide meaningful information. But before we do that, I'm going to ask my good friend, Delegate Todd Morgan, if he would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Got my little flag here somewhere. There we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so very much. Delegate Long is unable to be with us today. However, if you'll take a moment, if you close our eyes and for a moment of prayer, Heavenly Father, as we gather here this morning, we first of all thank you for the knowledge and the wisdom you've given us, the opportunity to serve not only our counties, but our state and in many ways our nation. We ask you for guidance and for help. In thy name we pray. Amen. I'm not as fluent in prayers as Delegate Long, but I hope that God hears us and we will move progressively forward. All right. On the agenda, you have U.S. Senator Angela Alsobrooks offering comments on update from the Capitol. However, she's unable to be with us. There's an unexpected emergency, and hopefully we will have a chance to hear from her before session ends in a few weeks. So we will proceed with Maurice Simpson, who's with the Constellation Energy Generation, and he is the Senior State Government Affairs Manager. But I also would like to acknowledge Stephanie Barone, who is our wonderful connection at the state level as well as with our county. So welcome, Stephanie, and welcome, Maurice.
Madam Chair, members of the delegation, thank you. It's great to be here with you this morning. I believe Stephanie's going to run our slides for us.
And while he's preparing, he has a wonderful little 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old.
Yeah, two-year-old yesterday.
Oh, he's adorable, really smart.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Uh, Stephanie, are we ready with the slides?
I
I'm
think
I'm trying. I have this up on my phone because I couldn't install Zoom on my laptop. Um,
Okay, let me see if I can share my screen.
okay.
and hello, everyone. Hi, Delegate Morgan.
All right. Let's see. All right, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, we see it.
Okay, great. All right, well, good. Again, good morning, everyone. As stated, I'm Maurice Simpson, Senior Manager, State Government Affairs at Constellation. I'm joined by my colleague, who you all know, Stephanie Barone. She manages all of our local government affairs at the county level and all of you all's jurisdictions. I represent Constellation before you all in the legislature, as well as before the Public Service Commission. And so we'll go ahead and get started. All right, let's see if I got this. Okay. So, as many of you may know, Constellation, we are a Fortune 200 company headquartered in Baltimore City. With the recent acquisition of Calpine, we are now the largest private sector power producer in the world. We're the nation's largest producer of clean and reliable energy and a leading competitive retail energy supplier to millions of homes, institutional customers, the public sector, community aggregations, and businesses. We have 55 gigawatts of generating capacity from nuclear, natural gas, geothermal, hydro, wind, and solar. Our fleet has the capacity to power the equivalent of 27 million homes, providing about 10% of the nation's clean energy and delivering the around-the-clock reliability that's needed to power America. While we have all those assets, at our core, we are a nuclear company. We're very proud of our fleet. As you see here, we own and operate the largest fleet of reactors, 21 reactors in 4 states. Those serve approximately 17 million homes alone. The star represents the Crane Clean Energy Center in Pennsylvania that we're proud to be restarting with a power purchase agreement with Microsoft. And so that's on schedule to come back online next year in 2027. Maryland is our home. In Maryland, Constellation produces 90% of the state's clean electricity and powers nearly half of the state's overall electricity use. Our 2,500 employees who volunteer over 28,000 hours annually with Maryland nonprofits are working hard every day to demonstrate that private capital and competitive markets are fully capable of meeting Maryland's reliability and energy needs. And so this slide just highlights some of those numbers. And this is just kind of a map of Maryland so you can see where our assets are. Obviously, you're familiar with Calvert Cliffs plant, our Baltimore headquarters, the Conowingo Dam in the northern part of the state, and then out west, our 3 wind projects. And we're walking the walk. So we're not just proud to own and operate these facilities, but we're excited to be able to continue to invest in them. We've invested over $1 billion in power generation in the state through Calvert Cliffs, Conowingo, and the wind projects, as I mentioned, which is done through the competitive market without guaranteed cost recovery from captive ratepayers. So that means we bear those costs. Those costs are not something that ratepayers are paying for. And so you see at the wind projects, we've invested over $90 million there. That includes a process called repowering, where we have replaced the blades on the turbines with larger, sleeker, I call them sexier blades, so that they are more efficient and produce up to 20% more power just by making those enhancements. And then we've invested over $500 million at the Conowingo Dam, which is inclusive of the recent $340 million for our water quality certificate. And so that's going to allow us to continue to make improvements there. With the water quality certification from the state, we were able to complete our application for relicensing and have submitted that to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC. Once that license is approved, the dam will have a license to continue to operate for another 50 years. And the Conowingo Dam is Maryland's largest source of renewable energy. And then obviously, again, at Calvert Cliffs, kind of the crown jewel of the fleet, we've invested over $760 million there in ongoing maintenance and operation and upgrades to keep that plant running 24/7. I think many of you have been to the plant, but these are just additional statistics. The plant has 2 units, Unit 1, Unit 2. The first unit is licensed until 2034, the other until 2036. And so we are starting to think about and prepare now for relicensing those plants for another 20 years. The plant serves as base load generator supplying this region, has a capacity factor of greater than 95%. And that number basically measures how often a plant is running at maximum power. So 95% of the time, that plant is running and producing power around the clock. No other source has that high of a capacity factor, and no source is 100%. So this is kind of top of the line. At Calvert Cliffs, we maintain a highly skilled workforce, where we provide family sustaining jobs. We have about over 600 employees, full-time employees there. And then during outages, there are usually about an additional 1,500 employees that are brought in from around the area to assist with the refueling process. And so that's a huge economic boom to that area from the local hotels and restaurants and other service industries. And actually, Calvert is currently in a outage right now. So depending on where you are, you may be seeing some of that activity. And then, Constellation is not just us. There is an entire nuclear industry in the state, which accounts for a total of about 6,100 jobs and provides nearly $15 million in state tax revenues and an additional $21 million in local tax revenues. This is just a picture of the plant that you can see the two reactors in the concrete cast, and this is kind of the footprint of the plant. Everything that is happening there is happening within this facility. But just to give you a aerial view, we own all of this land in Calvert where the plant sits. But as you can see, the actual footprint of the plant is very small relative to the amount of land we own. So that's a lot of power coming out of a small footprint. You can see how far off of 4 it is, all the buffer zone from residents, commuters, and everyone it sits at the edge of the bay, away from a lot of folks. And so, Constellations continue to do more. We're prepared to meet Maryland's future energy needs. We've offered a range of near and long-term generation and battery storage options for the state. That includes 800 megawatts of battery storage, more than 700 megawatts of natural gas power generation, and expanding investment in Calvert Cliffs, including extending the plant's life to operate for another 20 years, as I mentioned, increasing output by 10%. That's called an uprate, similar to the repowering at the wind projects, and potentially doubling the site's capacity through the addition of 2,000 megawatts of next generation nuclear, so SMRs and other advanced technologies as they come along. So, Constellation is here to assist the state, to be a partner, and help the state reach its clean energy goals. So, with that, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Well, thank you very, very much. Very informative. Particularly some of the views. I will admit I've passed Calvert Cliffs, but I've never actually. I don't know if it's secure, so maybe I wasn't supposed to be there.
No,
But
no, it's a very secure facility. If you'd like to come, I'm surprised Delegate Morgan hasn't brought you down. He's a big advocate of the plant and has brought many members of the legislature from across the state to tour the facility, and we'd be happy to have you.
well, thank you very much. I will consider that during the interim. All right. Are there any questions of members that are here? If not, thank you very much, and wish your little 2-year-old happy birthday, and we look forward to having a play date with all of us.
Yes, we do. We do have to get that done.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Well, again, this morning we're concentrating on natural resources or energy, as well as agricultural education foundation. And so I'd like to welcome Suzanne Richards, who is with the Maryland Agricultural Education Foundation, Inc. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and thank you for having us. I'm joined today by Celia Parker from Chesapeake Bay Trust. We are the two organizations in the state that benefit from the specialty license plates. So MAFE benefits from the Ag Tag, and the Chesapeake Bay Trust benefits from the Bay Plate license plate. So we wanted to share a little bit of information about what we do here in the state with the benefit of the funds. And I'm going to share my screen. Last time I did this, it started advancing slides on its own. So I'm just going to kind of move this over here and see if I can stay in control of the slides today. So MAFE works statewide to help people understand Two things really. One, agricultural literacy, like how your food is grown and where it comes from and who your farmers are. But we also support agricultural education in our high schools and beyond so that people have the opportunity to study agriculture in preparing for a career in agriculture. And the reason that's important is because agriculture has a huge impact in Southern Maryland and across the state. In Southern Maryland specifically, we're looking at $2.2 billion in economic activity and 10,000 plus supported jobs. So there's a lot more jobs in agriculture than you might realize. In fact, we don't really count them the way we probably should. So I'm sure that my job is probably counted as just a nonprofit manager and not as someone in agriculture. But we need all kinds of folks. So we reach about 150,000 students a year, and more than that when you count the folks who visit our showcases, for example. And this is a picture from inside one of our showcases, which are mobile units that attend fairs and festivals across the state. In-person ag education in Southern Maryland, about almost 7,600 students. Another 12,539 people climbed on our Amazing Maryland Ag Showcase, 7 different events. I know that each county fair, including the family show in Prince George's County, had the showcase last year. And then we have an amazing program called Ag Literacy Week, which gets farmers into the classroom to read a book. So the book this year is called The Dog Who Saved the Bees, and Ag Literacy Week is coming up in another couple weeks. We have farmers come into the classroom, read the book to the students. It's always a farm-based book, and then do an activity and just get a chance to really meet the kids and have the kids learn a little bit more about farming. So in addition to the showcases, we also have mobile science labs, and those go to elementary schools across the state. So specifically in Southern Maryland, you can see the great list of schools that benefited from that. It's a trailer that's the size of a tractor trailer, and inside it's outfitted with science lab materials. Students come on class by class, they pair up in a team, they do a hands-on science experiment. The kids love it, the teachers love it. They get to do things that they ordinarily would not be able to do in their classrooms. And it's always just a cool, fun science experiment that's related to agriculture. So we have 4 of those mobile science labs. And then on the upper level with agricultural education, we have FFA chapters at Calvert High and McDonough High School. Really looking forward to getting an ag program started back in St. Mary's County again for this coming year. We'll be looking forward to restarting their FFA chapter when that happens. In national FFA competition, we had a prepared speaking bronze winner from Angelina Perez at Calvert FFA, which is a fabulous program. Professional development for educators on how to teach agriculture in all subject areas. We had PD for teachers in Anne Arundel County, and then as well did several online classes for librarians to learn how to use agriculture more often in their programming. And then a $500 Let's Grow grant to support a garden program. I don't know how to say that man's last name. Is it Craig or Crack or Crack? Okay.
No, it's Craig.
Craig. Okay. That's what I would have guessed, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to butcher it. So that's a lot of the work that we've done in Southern Maryland. I'm very pleased to be here today. I'm actually a resident of St. Mary's County. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Cecilia Parker, are there any questions of Ms. Richards first? All right. Good morning, Ms. Parker.
Hi, I'm Celia Parker. I'm the Chesapeake Bay Trust Vice President of Communications and Advancement. I'm so excited to be with you all this morning, especially on the same agenda with Constellation. We actually have a wonderful new partnership with them to strengthen more nonprofits in the community. So we always present with Suzanne and the Ag Tech folks because we are part of the 2 license plate system we have here in Maryland. You all created the Bay Plate and the Ag Tag, and we love sharing what it supports in all of your districts. You all also created our organization, the Chesapeake Bay Trust. Many of you do know us really well. You created us with the goal to support entities on the ground, to design, lead, love, and of course, sustain their own projects. We know government can do so much, but over 90% of the land in the watershed is privately owned. So you all created us to help complement this work and really give people the power to do their own work. You didn't create us with an operating appropriation, but you did give us the beautiful, loved Bay Plate. And it's tax season, so I do want to remind you, you gave us the tax check off as well. Thank you so much to support these organizations. So this money goes to schools and teachers, churches, homeowners associations, and other local community groups. And we're very transparent about where the money goes every year. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly. So every single year we publish every single award in our annual report. We list it out by county. And then we also every single quarter send you all the specific awards made in your districts so you can see the organizations getting awards and leading this work. I've personally gotten to go to a tree planting with the Resilience Authority of Charles County with high school students, and it was such a wonderful experience. And we really want to do more in Southern Maryland. If you have groups or entities that you think would benefit from our grant programs, please do connect with us. I want to thank Delegate Morgan. He used to be on our board. Thank you so much. He has done this, and we are actually following up with those groups to make sure that they know about our grant programs and hopefully apply, because that's what we want to do. We want to do way more in Southern Maryland. So thank you again so much, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you very much. Are there any questions? How long has the Chesapeake Bay Trust been in existence?
1985, so over 40 years.
Well, then I'm accurate because during my tenure at the College of Southern Maryland, I had a program called Educational Talent Search, and we wrote a grant for students to explore really the Potomac. And we took them out on the Potomac, and they had water samples, and we even took a boat all the way up to Blue Plains. And it was very interesting to see the difference, the water quality as it got closer to Blue Plains. And then the students at the Morgantown site planted seeds, plants. So we were very engaged as a result of the scholarship or the grant from the Chesapeake Bay Trust or Foundation.
I love hearing that. That's part of the goal. It's why you all created us, right? Once you have that connection or experience, it really stays with you. We see that. We know a lot of these organizations we support had some sort of outdoor experience when they were younger, and now they're leading organizations, or it stays with them. That's such a wonderful story. I'm going to look up that award too. That sounds great.
Well, it was the College of Southern Maryland
Yep.
Educational Talent Search, and it was many years ago. I would say about 25 years ago or so. All right, thank you very much. That was my comment. Any other questions? We really want to thank you very much. And it's great to see when we make legislation or pass legislation that it is working. And so again, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, John, you were smiling earlier. I hope you're still smiling about the Southern Maryland reception. You did a great job. And I'd like to thank Kara Franklin, who was very engaged, and on my staff, and Melissa Mason, as well as Julia DeMarico. I probably messed up her name. On my staff. Delegate Odom, did you have anyone who helped with the Southern Maryland reception?
I don't believe anyone from my staff was providing any help. We unfortunately had my first district night on last night, and there was a lot of preparation into that. So
okay.
I offer to help in any other way in the future.
Well, I see Ariel on the call she's with Delegate Davis's office. I believe she helped as well, and Sherrod Lanier. And Todd Delegate Morgan, I don't know if any of your staff were engaged with assisting with that, probably so.
Yes, they were in the background helping out.
Absolutely. Well, really, I just want to acknowledge that because you really did a great job. John, you're on.
Okay, thank you. I want to say thanks to Kara. She was right there at the welcome desk with Amber, and she was quite helpful in volunteering to work there at the desk. So I wanted to definitely recognize her. I wanted to take a second and recognize the major sponsors. And actually, one of those major sponsors was Constellation Energy, who you just had on a few minutes ago, and also Aviation Systems Engineering Company. The Rod and Reel was a major sponsor, and also the Maryland Broadband Cooperative. So those four organizations were instrumental. They provided $8,000 in sponsorships to get and they actually put us over the top of meeting our goal for revenue for the event. The reception, I wanted to give a little financial update on the reception. We had targeted a target for revenue of around $25,000 to $25,500. We actually ended up at $26,300. So we met our revenue target, and the difference between the expenses, all the expenses combined, and we gave away a few items, including the coins, and I provided pictures from the heritage area at no cost. And with those things, we ended up within about $500 of breaking even. So after last year, where we were quite negative, this year, Melinda has not counted up every bit of revenue, but we're going to be plus or minus about $500 of breaking even. So I'm calling that a big success. Anytime you can have an event and come down to where you're right on the numbers. I wanted to give a few numbers of who was in attendance. We actually had 208 people registered at the time of at the event or before the event, and the attendance was 201. So there were a few people that came in at the last minute, but the attendance and the registered, we came as close as you could come to 100% attendance. So 108 registered, 101 in attendance, and it was a good event. We are doing an after action get together next week. Many of our employees volunteered. They were there representing workforce, the blueprint specialist, all three people in the blueprint team were there, and several other employees. So we had probably about a little bit more than half our staff. So the attendees of the elected officials and the attendees of our employees who volunteered and your volunteers are not in these numbers. The number of actual paid attendees was 208, and then all of the extra people. And we did see a number of delegates and senators, not just from Southern Maryland, but from all over the state, did attend and come in. I did see Senator Rosapep was there, as he often attends this event. So
Absolutely.
other senators as well.
And what you didn't say was it was also a snowy day. It snowed that afternoon.
Yes,
Great job.
it did. It snowed the afternoon. It wasn't terrible, but it made a challenge. And we did have one challenge in that they ended up canceling the bus from St. Mary's, but in spite of canceling the bus, we actually only refunded to people that were on the bus that couldn't come to 2 people. The rest of the people continued to find their way up there. So it was very well attended. It was at the target. We were hoping for somewhere around 200 to 250 and 201 in actual attendance and 208 in paid reservations.
Okay.
We're right on our target number.
Thank you so much. Job well done. I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, that concludes the agenda for today. The next meeting will be March the 20th. And Kara, if you're able to provide some sense of what we're covering on that date, I'd appreciate it.
Of course. On the 20th, so 2 weeks from today, we're going to be hearing from Senator Van Hollen. We're also going to receive an update on Charlotte Hall and an update simply on the Maryland Department of Veterans and Military Families from Acting Secretary Ed Rothstein. And we're also going to hear from Yolanda Wilson with Maryland's Blue Star Families.
Oh, that's great. Military next time. All right. Well, thank you again so much. Thank you all for being in attendance, and we hope that you have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.